guys, welcome back to my channel and the final installment of my color series. And this, I mean, we're doing toppers, so does that really count? But before we get into that, two things. Number one, did I put on too much blush today? Absolutely. Do I care? A whole lot, but I don't know how to fix it. So we're coming at you with a full 80s chic, you know? And number two, the brand Dossier reached out to me and they asked if I wanted to try out a couple of their products and show them off on my channel. And I said, sure, because if you don't know, Dossier is a perfume brand that their motto or their tagline is inspired by iconic fragrances without the premium price. And I really like perfume. Recently, I've been getting more into it, but I don't know too much about it. And so when I checked out their website, they had a lot of information and it's really cool. So I'll show you the packages that I got. So you just pop this open and in the lid, it says iconic scents, designer quality, no markups. And then they give you this little card. And what this is just an info card on the perfume that you got. So it has the name at the top, all of the notes of the perfume, the top, the middle, and the bottom notes or the base notes. Like I said, I don't know too much about perfume. I'm still learning. And then it tells you what the perfume was inspired by, the concentration of the perfume, and then it lets you know that they do have free returns if you don't like your product. And so I ended up picking out two perfumes. The first one is Ambery Vanilla, and this one is inspired by YSL's Black Opium. And first of all, you guys, the bottles are super like sleek. They look really minimalist. They look really nice sitting on your shelf. And first of all, like, the cap is magnetic. What is that? I'm like, when I opened these up, I just sat there for like 5 minutes and did that for like 5 whole minutes. And this one, I picked it out because my mom growing up, or when I was growing up, she wore the original Opium scent. And I wanted to check this out to see if it was like any bit similar to that one or if it was different. It definitely is a little bit sweeter than the original Opium. I mean, this one is Black Opium. It's the gourmand scent, I believe. And so the cool thing about this is if you go onto the Dossier website, yeah, 50 milliliters, 1.7 ounces will cost you $29. If you buy the perfume that this one was inspired by, YSL's Black Opium, it would cost you $110 for the exact same scent. So that's really crazy. I also picked out, because I'm bougie at heart, this is Ambery Sage, and this one is inspired by Tom Ford's Effing Fabulous. I don't know if I can say the whole word without getting demonetized. And this one, it's like a really powdery but also kind of spicy scent. And I have always wanted to try a Tom Ford scent, but this particular bottle here, again, 1.7 ounces or 50 milliliters. This one is $49 on the Dossier website. The same size perfume from Tom Ford. You guys are not ready for this. It's $390, which is why I have never been able to try a Tom Ford scent. And now, honestly, I don't want to try a Tom Ford scent because I can just get the Dossier equivalent and be happy with it. So I will leave a link down below if you guys are really interested. Like I said, like, perfume is something that I haven't known too much about. I have several, but I just never really knew. And there's like a lot of nuance to it. A lot of people, you know, they love perfumes, they layer them and things like that. And so I really was excited that they reached out to me. And so far I've been wearing the Tom Ford inspired by Ambery Sage, and it smells so, so good. This one has an 18% concentration, and it sure does. It's a really strong perfume, so make sure you go lightly if you end up picking up this one. So back to the nail polish. If you've been following this series for a while, I'm going to link up in the cards the whole playlist, because I do have a playlist going through every color. And what this is I just pick a color family and then I choose my top 10 favorites in my collection at that time that fit that color family. Obviously, toppers are a bunch of different colors, but this is my channel and I'm deciding that toppers is a category in this series. I don't know. That's what I want to do. I love toppers, like, in theory. I look at them and I'm like, wow, I love that. It's awesome. But in practice, I forget to use them a lot. So I'm hoping that doing this video will renew my, like, I don't know, not excitement, because I'm always excited about toppers, but just in my brain, like stick it in there that like, Hillary, you have all these toppers you love, wear them, you know? And the way I swatched these was I'm going to do one on bare nail, just so you can see it on its own, one over white, one over black, and then one over a color that I feel just goes with it, because that's the thing about toppers is they're so versatile. You can layer them with other toppers, you can layer them over a variety of different colors and polishes and finishes and get a completely different result every time. And so, you know, I'm showing you just a like micro look into how these toppers can be used, but I just feel like that kind of covers some of your main bases. So the first topper I want to show you guys is Unkosher Market's Everything Bagel. And this is one that the second I saw it over on Instagram. And I knew I had to have it the moment I laid eyes on it, despite at that time in my life never having eaten an Everything Bagel. I was like, I gotta have that. Look, I don't know how I got to the age of like 27 and just never ate an Everything Bagel, but I did. My mom only bought plain and blueberry, and then when I grew up and left the house, I didn't buy bagels anymore. So I don't know, like now I love them. So just everybody calm down. It's okay. But this topper, it has like a bunch of different sizes and shapes and colors of glitter. You have black circles, white diamonds, gold squares, and like a coppery brown square. It's just like, it looks like the Everything Bagel seasoning that you see sprinkled on top. And I've seen other polishes after I bought this do this kind of a finish or like have this kind of an inspiration. So there are others out there that you can get. This brand, unfortunately, very recently closed down. I'm not sure what happened, but I really liked a lot of their like inspirations that they did for nail polish. This was like a kind of like a Jewish clothing line and like accessories and things like that. So they had, for the nail polishes they put out, they had like a locks and schmear like set and things like that. It was really funny. And I only got the Everything Bagel one because it was a little bit expensive, but I love to do this over like a peachy or like light tan to like emulate an Everything Bagel. The second polish is Butter London's Doily. And I love this because the name, the polish, like it all really meshes well together. I love when a polish takes a theme and you can just see that in the polish. Like you wouldn't need to know the name of the polish to understand the theme of it. And I just feel like this is like the first one I mentioned and this one, they both really capture that well. And this is a bunch of like hex glitters of a variety of sizes, and they're white with these really, really delicate, really tiny bar glitters running through it. And it's suspended in a really kind of like the babiest of pinks base. It's a really light, really sheer, kind of like an OPI's bubble bath type color base. And it's just this perfectly delicate doily. And I think that this particular polish looks better over lighter colors or pastel colors if you're going to use it as a topper, because it kind of washes out anything that's darker because of that like pinkier base. But with a pastel that already kind of has that chalkier look to it, or like a lighter color that just is a little bit more washed out, I think that this would work nicely. Number 3, I have Death Valley Nails Bone. And this is one I've talked about a little bit more recently. I just find this one to be super innovative as far as nail polish goes. This is part of their Dust to Dust collection, which uses pigments from the earth, the world around us, in order to make like these natural colored nail polishes, or you know, they just use natural pigments in their nail polish. This one in particular uses real cattle bone that is discarded from, you know, cattle processing plants. And so obviously not vegan, not vegetarian. If you are, like, don't buy this particular one. They do have other polishes in the line that use like flowers and clay and things like that. So if you're interested in the concept, I do recommend checking it out. But this one, it was like the most strange and unusual one. And I did buy another one, and I do plan to buy more from this line. But there's something that just really strikes me. Why is it getting dark? What is happening? There's something that really strikes me about, I don't know, just using every part of, if you are a meat eater or something like that, using every piece and part of the animal in order to not create any waste. And while nail polish might seem like a really weird choice to some people, I do think that this one looks really cool. And I want to pair this one with more like natural or earthier tones. I just feel like it kind of more naturally goes with those. and it kind of fits that earthy vibe. Guys, the lighting in this video is going to be so stupid. Next we have Hollow Taco's Gold Flake Taco, and honestly, I'm not a huge gold person. I've said this multiple times, like silver, when it comes to metals and jewelry and things like that, is my preferred metal, but there's something about the tone of this particular gold that just really gets me. This polish came out last fall with the Tea Cremes collection from Hollow Taco, and so I kind of associate it with the fall time and the colors that it was paired with, and it was a lot of kind of like jewelier tones, and this kind of deep, warm gold really does fit with those jewel tones. It's like the perfect highlight, the perfect accent to something like that. And I'm just like, I can picture it all in my head, just over all sorts of beautiful jewel tones with a matte top coat, because you know me. I have found myself really wanting for Cirque's gold flake top coat that's like a real gold top coat that's like, it's kind of like Goldschlager, I guess. And I do have a couple other like gold flake top coats, like not like this, but you know, that's the same concept. But this one really stands out to me more than the others, and I think it's just the tone of the gold. It's just my preferred gold top coat, and if I'm gonna reach for anything gold, it's probably gonna be this. Number 5 is one I picked up this year. This is the Terraformer Life from Nevermind Apothecary. This is the first polish I've ever bought from them. I don't know too much about the brand, but when I saw this in the Polished Up Gamers box for the Animal Crossing box they did, I was like, I gotta have that, because Animal Crossing is like a near and dear to my heart thing. I have been playing it since the very first game when I was, however old you are, in 6th grade. It was just something that me and my siblings have done together forever, and it's just like, it's one of my favorite video games. This is meant to emulate the grass in Animal Crossing. They are like little triangles on the ground that kind of, like, they're like flat on the ground, so it's kind of funny, but it, I think it does a really good job using multiple shades of the green triangle glitters. And it's so funny because when I first got this, I was like, I've never seen a triangle glitter topper. And then Orly released one in the same time frame, and I ended up with 2 in like a month's time. So, and I will say this is one, if you are not used to working with larger glitters and you're not familiar, you have to fish with something like this. You have to kind of manipulate it. So like what I mean by that is, when you pull this directly out, you're not always going to get like an ideal amount of glitters. So you have to kind of like swirl it and scoop out some of the polish and get those glitters out. And then I will use a orange wood stick or the brush itself to kind of move them around on the nail and position them how I want. Because just when they're this big, they sink down in the base, and there's just not much you can do about that. Next is Orly's Glow Up, and this is part of their Glow in the Dark line, of which I believe there are 3 polishes. Now, I can't show you this one in the same way that I've been showing you the others, because it's just gonna look like glow in the dark, but I will show you a manicure that I did with a little bit of nail art that I used this polish for. And I'm a sucker for glow in the dark stuff. Like, I have glow in the dark stars on my ceiling in here. It's something that me and my little sister, we used to share a room when we were kids, and we always had glow in the dark stars on our ceiling. And I don't know, it's just something that I've always liked. So when we moved into this apartment, I bought a huge pack of them and I stuck them all on the ceiling. So you can paint this over any polish you want, and it dries down clear, so it doesn't affect the polish underneath. But then when you turn out the lights, you know, you have a little fun surprise. And so what I did with this, that I thought I was so creative and so cool, and like, I'm sure a million people have done this kind of thing, but I was excited when I did it, okay? Last year, that like marshmallow ghosties trend was like happening on Instagram, and I can't remember who started it, but it was like a hashtag, and you just drew these cute little ghosts on your nails. And so I did that, and then I got the idea to get a little brush and get this guy out and paint over the ghosts, and so only the ghosts would glow in the dark. And it was great until I forgot that I had done that, and then I went to bed that night and my nails started glowing, and I was like, what is going on? And then I remembered that I used the glow in the dark top coat. They have another one that is like a blue glow, and I want to get that one, and I can't remember what the third one is, but this one's just your like standard glow in the dark color. Here's another one that sadly is no longer available. This is Enchanted Polish's Song and Dance, and this is just kind of another one of those, like, I like to call them like glitter puke kind of colors, because it's just a huge mishmash of a lot of things. So this has black and white like mini hex glitters, and then even tinier black and white like circle glitters. We have like these green iridescent, or not iridescent, like multi-chrome flakies. And then there's like either a red shimmer running through it, or maybe it's like slightly hollow. I don't know, but it's got everything. And when I look at this in the bottle and spread out on the nail, I just think like Halloween. This just has a very spooky Halloween feeling to me. I'm not sure what the inspiration was or what collection it was from. This is, like I said, it's called Song and Dance. I'm not sure what that's associated with, but this one is just, it's fun. I'm sure if you tried really hard, you could probably find this one in a destash. In fact, I've seen a few people destashing this one here and there over the past year or so. So this might not be one of the toughest Enchanteds to find if you're interested. The next one is a newer one to my collection. This is like really recent. I got this at Polish Beauty Expo. However, it's kind of like representative of a broader category, and that is these multi-chrome flaky toppers. And this one is just the one that really stood out to me of all the ones that I have right now. And this is, I don't think I even said the name. It's Sweet and Sour Lacquer's Quetzalcoatl. And there's like a whole line of these in different colorways. I actually bought like 3 of them, but this, like I said, is the color that really stuck out to me. It's like a green to like yellow and pinky orange shift. It's really cool. And I don't love like iridescent flaky toppers that much, if at all. There's one actually in this top 10, so Hillary, shut up. But I prefer these more opaque and super shifty ones just because like I think that they look great over any color you do, whereas the iridescent ones look pretty good over dark colors, but that's about it in my opinion. Okay, and now that I just ragged on iridescent flaky toppers, let me show you my favorite iridescent flaky topper, because hypocrite. And that is Holo Taco's Everything Taco. This one, when they released the 2nd year and anniversary collection, which is like right behind me, this was the one I was the most excited about. I love the whole concept of we're mixing all of our previous collections together to make a remix. I thought that was really fun and, you know, just like a good time, really interesting. But this Everything Taco topper, it was just so fun because it's got every single color of iridescent flaky plus like 3 or 4 different kinds of hollow in there. I think it's got like literally, I don't know. It's got everything. It's Everything Taco. You guys figure it out. I don't know. I'm not the expert. I will say though, I only wear this over black. Like I don't really wear this over anything else. I'm going to put a picture up of me putting it over something else, but it's just my preference is it just looks best over black because it allows the light to reflect off of the flakies so much better. But, you know, you can do whatever you guys want. And last but not least, we have another Orly, and that is Hits the Spot. And this is from the Lisa Frank collaboration. I think it was last summer. And again, I love rainbow toppers. I love rainbow, like chunky glitter toppers. So it was hard for me to pick just one. But the reason why I liked this one is because this one looks a lot different than my other rainbow toppers because the colors are more like a neon-y or like not pastel. Yeah, I guess like neon and pastel mix here because the blue is not super neon-y. It has a smattering of scattered hollow in there. And then instead of yellow hex glitters, which all the other colors in here are hex glitters, the yellow glitters are stars, which really just kind of sent me over the edge with this one. I don't know why, I love a star-shaped glitter. I love weird glitters. Anything that's shaped really weird. Like Color Club had a line of like emoji glitters, I think at one point, and they had like the ghost emoji, and I don't own that, and I know I should, but it's just, that stuff really gets me. I love a weird glitter. I love a weird anything, really. But yeah, those are my top 10 toppers in my collection right now. I need to work harder on integrating them and implementing them in my day-to-day, like using them in manicures more. So I think what I'm gonna do is every year I set 3 like year-long goals for just nail polish in general. And like this year I have like do more nail art is one of my goals. I think next year is going to be use more toppers as one of my goals and see if I can maybe use every single topper in my collection at least once next year. But yeah, let me know your guys' favorite toppers. Let me know, especially if they're like weird shapes or just like weird color combos or just something strange about them that's really unique in your opinion. I want to check those out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.